Hey guys, I'm Nisha Homey. Today I'm sharing an instant, healthy and fiber-rich, gluten-free roti recipe ideal for breakfast, lunch or dinner. I'll also be sharing a healthy chutney to go with this roti. So let's get started with the recipe. I'm using one medium-sized raw papaya or green papaya in this recipe. I'm slicing the green papaya into half. I'm removing the seeds. I'll only be using one half of the papaya. With the other half, you can make delicious side dishes with the raw papaya. I've already shared a couple of videos on it. Please do check it out. I'm peeling the skin. I'm keeping aside 1/4 portion of the papaya. This is to make the chutney, so I'm going to keep it aside. And then I'm slicing the papaya into thin strips so that it is easy to grate, and then I'm grating the papaya. I have grated the papaya and it measures 1 cup. I'm roughly chopping the kept aside raw papaya and I'm going to keep this aside. Into a bowl I'm adding in the grated green papaya, add in 1 green chilli finely chopped, half of an onion finely chopped, a sprig of fresh curry leaves. I'm tearing the curry leaves and adding in so that the flavors are released. 1 teaspoon cumin seeds, also known as jeera, 3 to 4 sprigs of finely chopped coriander leaves. I'm grating in little bit of ginger, 1 teaspoon pink Himalayan salt or as needed. I'm measuring in 1 cup of red rice flour. To make it more healthy, I'm using red rice flour in this recipe. However, you can use any variety of rice flour in this recipe. As you can see, red rice flour has a slightly darker hue than white rice flour. So into this I'm adding in 1 cup of red rice flour. And with my hand, I'm giving this all a good mix. Once the red rice flour is coated all over the other ingredients, I'm adding in 1/4 cup water little by little and mixing it really well. And once the dough is nicely mixed, take a small portion and see whether you can spread it with your thumb like I'm showing in the video. So the dough should be of spreadable consistency. It should neither be too thick nor too thin. You should be able to spread the dough with your thumb like this. So this is the consistency which you should be looking at. Now the best thing about this batter is that you can make ahead and store it in the refrigerator and it will stay good for a couple of days. This way it will make an ideal way to meal prep, especially on those busy days. And now I'm going to keep this aside and allow it to rest while I make the chutney to go with this roti. Into my chutney grinder, I'm adding in 1 cup of grated coconut, 1 organic green chilli, 2 to 3 shallots for that extra iron and folate, a small piece of ginger which I'm roughly chopping and adding in. To make it more nutrient dense, I'm adding in 1 salted amla. I have already shared how to make salted amlas at home. Please do check it out. Just 1 salted amla. Amla is a good source of vitamin C. Add in the kept aside roughly chopped green papaya, half teaspoon pink Himalayan salt or as needed, 2 sprigs of fresh organic curry leaves. Add in 1/3 cup of water or as needed and grind this well into a chutney. Once ground, transfer the chutney into a serving bowl. For tadka, I'm heating my tadka pan with 1 to 2 teaspoons of wood pressed coconut oil. Once the oil is heated, I'm adding in 1 teaspoon mustard seeds. Once the mustard seeds starts to crackle, reduce the flame to the lowest and add in 3 to 4 shallots thinly sliced, 1 sprig of fresh curry leaves, 3 to 4 whole red chilies or as needed. Once the shallots are golden, pour it over the chutney. And my super healthy raw papaya chutney is ready to serve. Batter has been resting for about 5 minutes now and you can see that it is of the perfect consistency. You can easily spread it with your thumb like I'm showing in the video. I'll be sharing 2 methods to make this roti easily. The first method is using a wet cotton napkin. So onto a plate I'm adding in a wet cotton napkin and I'm taking a portion of the dough, roll it into a round ball like I'm showing in the video. Place it in the middle of the wet cotton napkin. Dip your fingers in water and press and shape it into a round roti. If the batter sticks to your finger, just dip it in water again and shape it into a round roti. You can spread it out as thinly as possible. Make sure that you level the sides so that the sides are even, and once evenly spread, just level the top with your fingers like this so there are no finger marks on the roti. Make a couple of small holes. I'm heating my cast iron tawa, and once the tawa is heated, reduce the flame to the lowest and grease it with gingerly oil. I'm using wood pressed gingerly oil, also known as sesame oil or til oil. Place the cotton napkin over the hot tawa, roti side down. Carefully remove the cotton napkin. Drizzle a little bit of wood pressed coconut oil, or you can use A2 desi ghee or any wood pressed oil of your choice. Cover and let it cook on low flame. 2 minutes later, open the lid and carefully turn the roti over. And allow that side to get cooked. A couple of minutes later, flip it over again. Red rice takes a little extra time to cook than white rice, so you may need to cook it a little longer than you would normally cook roti with white rice. Once both sides are nicely cooked, flip it over and transfer to a plate. For the next method, I am using a parchment paper or a butter paper. You can always use a banana leaf instead of this. Placing the parchment paper over a steel plate, dip your hand in water and take a portion of the dough and roll it into a round ball and place it in the middle of the parchment paper. With wet fingers, press the roti into a round circle as thinly as possible. Once it is shaped into a round circle, just level the top. With wet fingers, make a couple of circles into the roti. Grease the tawa with wood pressed sesame oil. Place the butter paper on the hot tawa, roti side down. A couple of seconds later, carefully peel off the butter paper. Drizzle in a little bit of wood pressed coconut oil. Cover and let it cook on medium to low flame for a couple of minutes. 2 to 3 minutes later, open the lid, carefully flip it over. And allow that side to get cooked. Once both sides are nicely cooked, transfer to a plate. Serve the roti with the green papaya chutney. And my super healthy roti and chutney is ready to serve. So guys, do try this healthy roti recipe and let me know in the comments how it turned out. Thank you for watching, and until next time.